everyone, welcome to Atlas Shrugging, and I am your benevolent dictator. So, I just got done with my workout, so I want to have a little fun today. We're going to look at this article. As I mentioned in a video, I think it was a couple of videos ago, in my 20s, I built custom computers. That was my hobby. And in fact, the computer that I'll show you, which is the one that I built 10 years ago, is still the one that I'm running on. It's the one that's recording this video. And it is a water-cooled PC. Now, this hit my attention because, first off, the title obviously is clickbaity, but this Belle Delphine bathwater cooled PC can be yours for only $1,500. So for starters, without even reading the article, we're going to go in. Bathwater, or any tap water for that matter, is a terrible cooling agent for a water-cooled PC. Reason being is effectively, it's got all these minerals and additives and whatnot in that water. It'll corrode the copper and the other elements that are used to cool the equipment, and it'll corrode the equipment. So your computer will not last very long because you'll end up rusting and corroding, and it just won't cool very well. So you'll end up overheating and likely melt the CPU at some point. What you want is distilled water, and you want to either add a anti-corrosive agent and or a coloring agent if you want. Or you can buy something that already does that, like I did 10 years ago. This is Fessor 1. It's a cooling fluid. I don't know if that company still exists. But I bought a couple cases of it back 10 years ago when I built this computer, and I still have a couple unopened things. And effectively what it is distilled water with an anti-corrosive additive already mixed in, and I got it in lime green so it'll kind of glow with the colors that I have inside my computer. Now, I'm hoping that the article will say that he's not actually using her bathwater for a couple reasons. One, why the hell would anybody buy her bathwater? Stop simping, guys. Really, stop the simping. And two, because it would just be a terrible waste of equipment. Additionally, a $1,500 computer is not going to be nearly powerful enough to warrant water cooling it. But we'll talk about that more in a minute. So Josh Wilkinson, he's the guy who built this, is building custom computer cases out of his favorite video games and one infamous model. So it looks like he's got a picture of it here, where this is the reservoir. I guess this is where he's claiming the bathwater is. And here's a CPU. We got her picture on the front here, which looks like it's a mugshot. It doesn't have her usual, platinum blonde hair with pink tips. So. See what he says here. Building a PC is a pain in the butt. It can be if you don't know what you're doing. Why not have somebody build it for you? Well, one reason we might want to have somebody build it for you is because they charge a massive premium. Like this guy building a low-end computer and putting her face on it and charging $1,500. There's a ton of services out there that do it, but none do it quite as stylish as Joshua Wilkinson. Okay, fair enough. He is doing something interesting for sure. For a mere $1,500, you can have a custom-built Wilkinson original that features influences Belle Delphine. This case plastered her face on the front, and it looks like inside as well. Her alleged mugshot is on the front. LEDs with glare inside the case. The system's liquid-cooled pipes run in and out of a little jar said to contain her bathwater. Again, I'm really hoping the article says that it's not actually her bathwater. So here we got the description. You got a couple sticks of RAM. I'm going to guess that those are probably 4 or possibly 8 gigabytes. So I mean, maximum of 16 gigs of RAM. So not decent, not terrible, but not top of the line by any stretch of the imagination for today's standards. And then you have a couple stickers, one over the cooling block for the CPU and one over the cooling block for the graphics processor. This graphics processor is several years old, so it's not the top of the line by any stretch of the imagination. But it's not an official jar of her bathwater. I know it's disappointing, Josh said. It's $400 on eBay. Why? Guys, really. First off, why would you buy a case with her face on it? Second of all, why would you buy her bathwater? Really? Throw that money into something productive. Come on. Like, really. Stop simping. Stop simping. The more official reason of these cooling loops is just normal water. They wouldn't hold up for a while. As I mentioned, you want something that's going to not corrode your equipment. Liquid-cooled PCs reduce the temperature using distilled water with additives to prevent corrosive. Using her bathwater is probably hazardous to the machine itself. No, not probably, is the machine probably would not last 6 months if you used her bathwater. Whether it was dirty or not is irrelevant. The systems aren't top of the line. The Delphine case is running an Intel i3 quad core with the GTX 1060, so a really fairly low-end machine actually. You're just paying effectively for the case. So $1,500 for a case with Belle Delphine's picture on it. And as soon as you bring a girl home and she sees your PC, she's going to be running for the hills. Why? So he goes on to talk about, he does some other cases with like video game stuff. Those probably be okay. It's not terrible to get a video game themed case, especially if you're playing video games like Fallout or Fortnite. Those are easily explainable. Having a picture of a internet model, let's put it that way, on your case is probably not conducive to your relationship goals. Let's see. So here he's got a cool one. I don't know what this one is. Maybe it's the Fall Guys one, because I'm not familiar with Fall Guys, but it is kind of neat. It looks like a Coca-Cola bottle here, and the reservoir looks like it's a upside down Coca-Cola bottle, or maybe some sort of a tap head. Kind of a neat inside. Asked what his favorite case was, Wilkinson said he didn't want to admit it was the Delphine Gamer Girl case. You gotta admire her. He said the chick sold her bathwater on the internet. She had to have made $5,000 that day. It's crazy. I admire the hustle. So let's assume that she was selling it for, and I don't know what she was selling it for, but he said it's $400 on eBay. So let's just go with that price. It's $400 on eBay. You're looking at about 12 guys that bought her bathwater, a jar of her bathwater. Really? And I don't know if he's sold this case. But that would be another $1,500 that basically for this chick's face on it. Guys, stop simping. Stop. Put your wallet away. Pull up the stock market. Hit the gym. Stop giving money for girls that are never going to give you the time of day. Just stop. Improve yourself. Focus on you. Stop giving money like this. This is ridiculous. So here I'm going to just kind of quickly go through. So here's the front of my water-cooled PC. This is a Danger Den custom case. Danger Den unfortunately went out of business about a year or two after I bought this. But it's a really nice acrylic case. And you can see it's got it's a double wide case, and I have radiators on both the fronts here with fans on front and back of the radiators. Get my DVD Blu-ray drive up here, and this is my fan cooling control center up here. And here's the motherboard side of the case, where you can see I've got fans over top of my 4 sticks of RAM. At the time, I got 24 gigs of RAM in here. At the time, that was fairly large for what you could get. And then you got my copper block over the CPU, and I also have a video card that also has a copper block on it, and both of those connect to the radiators. This, at the time, was a top-of-the-line computer. Actually needed to be water-cooled because it generated a lot of heat. I actually played around with building this was kind of like I said, a hobby when I was in my 20s. So again, going back to the whole don't simping thing, if you want to blow money, learn how to build your own computers or learn how to build something and blow money on that. Improve yourself. Here, I spent $6,000, give or take, buying equipment to play around with for when I was building this computer. What's actually in this computer is about $4,500 worth of equipment. So about $1,500 to $2,000 roughly was equipment that I bought and ended up not using, playing around with. Originally, I was going to use a SLI setup for the video cards, where I had 3 video cards, and then you can see my GTX down here. EVGA came out with a version that already had the water cooling blocks, and that one card was stronger than the 3 cards together that I had put blocks on, so I swapped it out. Obviously didn't end up using those other 3 video cards. And then lastly, on the other side, you can see here's the water reservoir. The other fans. The fans blow the air through the radiator, just like you in a car. And then you have my power supply down at the bottom. So much better use of your money investing in learning something new, learning a new skill. This at the time was me wanting to build a top-of-the-line gaming rig, because at the time I was playing some pretty high-end video games, and I wanted to be able to crank the graphics all the way up. And it was a lot of fun, learned a lot of new things. You're not going to learn anything by spending $1,500 buying a case that has Belle Delphine's face on it. You're not going to learn anything other than how to blow money by spending $400 for a bathwater. Don't do it. Stop simping. And that's my lesson for this evening, and I'll see you next time.